So, the film begins with a desert. Some time ago, a team of scientists came here to do research. They wanted to take a sample of life by digging the soil to find out if life is possible there. They dug up to 9 miles through a machine, and they themselves went there. This was quite surprising, because before today, humans had not gone so deep. Then after a few days, there was a terrible sandstorm here. The scientists did not contact their team to ask for help, because this was a deserted area. They had also lost contact with their team, so obviously the team did not send any help. The storm stayed here for a long time. Obviously, no contact with the scientists, so to do more research, the team sent their own man. His name was Jack. He came here alone. He was moving forward out of the storm. He looks around, but he does not see anyone there. There was a big lab here, so Jack goes there to check what was happening here, but he does not find anyone there either. There were only people's clothes and shoes lying there. This lab was very big. Looking at it, it was clear that the team has invested a lot of money in this project. Every Jack moves forward and reaches a room. There he sees a phone and a radio, but his condition was such that no one had used it for a long time. Jack finds it very strange, so he goes ahead to check that place more. He now goes to a freezer room where things are kept to keep cool and right. There was meat and electricity here, but there was a man's dead body on the side, which we see, but Jack cannot see. When he was checking all the rooms, he suddenly hears a strange sound. He quickly takes the gun in his hand and goes to check. He finds out that the sound is coming from the last door, which was in front. He was now suspicious of the chair in front of him, but as soon as the chair moves itself, there was a loud noise in front. Maybe that's why the chair was kept. Thinking this, he closes the door again. He looked very worried because 25 people had come to work here, but none of them were here. Then he sees a strange door on which he starts to doubt. As soon as he goes inside, he starts to see a lot of strange things. There was blood on the wall and something was written in Arabic. In fact, there was going to be a fall on it, but somehow he survives. He also sees a dead animal there, from whose blood these lines were written. It does not take long for him to understand that all these things are pointing to the devil. There must have been some black magic here. Some devil has come, in which the sacrifice of this animal was given. It looked like a sacrifice that was given to the devil. After all this, he comes in his car. Whatever he saw here, he gives information to his team about it, and he also says that there are other buildings here, which I have to check right now. Maybe the scientist team can be found there. He reads a book so that he can get help, but then the light goes off. He immediately comes to the generator room and turns on the generator and starts checking this place too. Then he finds a camera here. He only knew that a team of scientists had come here, but he would not tell him anything further. That is, he was going to dig a deep hole in the ground. He only knows all these things from the recorded video in this camera. Also, that he had come here to take a sample of life. The ground was very, very low. Then all the scientists start partying and enjoy, which clearly means that they have succeeded in their goal. They have found the sample. But what happened next? He does not know. Whatever it was, there was definitely something wrong here, which Jade was also suspecting. Then as Jade starts sleeping in his car, a lot of human hands are seen on the window of the same car. Seeing this, he gets very nervous, but in the meantime, he realized that it was just my illusion because the hands were missing from there. But because it still felt weird, he went to sleep in the lab room. The next morning when he wakes up, the storm had stopped. Everything was quiet. He starts thinking that the weather is clear, so now I will easily find the scientist. That's why he takes his car and goes to check all the buildings, during which he sees a separate room. When he goes inside, he does not find anyone, but fresh coffee was made there, which meant that someone was living here. He starts doubting. That's why he immediately comes to his car. Now, he was about to tell his team about this when he sees that a girl is running this way. She also sees Jai, but does not say anything and starts going inside. Jai was looking at him suspiciously and started following him because he wanted to ask what actually happened here. That girl tells him that my name is Jenny. I am also one of that team. Our leader is dead. I don't know about the rest of the people, but I know so much that now I am alone here. That's why I also want to go from here. That's all she said. She did not speak more openly, but at least now Jai had found out that he is also one of those scientists. He immediately informs his team about this and says that I am coming with the girl Jenny. Hearing this, his boss immediately says that no, you stay there for now. Give us as much information as possible because a lot of money has been invested on this project. You will have to stay there until the new team comes there because a working person has also been found there. So now you can collect a lot of information about what happened. Now when Jai goes to the freezer room, he sees that corpse there. Then Jenny tells him that this is my boss's corpse. His death was due to a heart attack, but it was not like that because his death was due to the cold in this freezer room. Jenny says that we should get out of here as soon as possible, but Jai refuses her because now somewhere he was doubting Jenny. They have a lot of talks in which Jai tells her that my wife died a long time ago, but how? He does not tell. Then he asks her about her project. Means drilling key. Means the people who were digging here, on which Jenny takes him to that that place and tells that our team will dig drilling for about 9 miles here, after which it started getting strange. Like sometimes a drowning sound started coming from this well. It started looking like hell, means the door of hell has opened and there is a devil down there. After hearing these things, Jai feels very strange, so he throws a paper down. Jenny tells him that it will take about 5 minutes to reach down. Suddenly Jai's light falls into that well while looking down. As he was falling down, blood was visible on the walls. Now seeing this, Jai started feeling very strange. Jai was getting very weak. Suddenly something comes on his head, because of which he gets injured and falls there. While he realizes that all the pictures I saw that video. Jenny is nowhere in them because she was getting sick. That's why Jenny takes him to the lab and treats him. She locks Jai in the room and tries to run away from here. When she reaches near Jai's car, she realizes that I don't have the keys. In the room where Jai was, suddenly blood starts dripping from his roof, and then it starts raining blood everywhere. Even things start bleeding. Seeing all this, he gets very nervous. He tries to get out of there, but the door was locked. Now Jenny also came back and took the keys, so she opens the door for Jai. Now the surprise was that when Jai was seeing, suddenly he disappeared. The room was absolutely clean. This time he tries to tell Jenny, but she only says that this is just your imagination. You take some rest. Then after resting for a while, when Jai gets up, he contacts his team. From the team, he finds out that the scientists who came there, they don't have the name of Jenny, which means it is clear that she is not a part of the team. Hearing this, Jai starts to get sick. Not only Jenny, no woman was sent on this mission. That's why he comes to the lab and starts looking for her everywhere, but she is nowhere to be found. When he comes out, he sees a tractor far away. There was a herd of birds around it, and this herd was there since Jai came here. As soon as he goes near the tractor, Jenny also comes from behind. Jai tells her that I have contacted my team. They told me that we have no record of Jenny, so tell me, who are you? After all, why don't you tell me who you are? What is your identity? What are you doing here? What is your purpose? In response to this, Jenny says that yes, it is absolutely true that no woman was sent on this mission, but the leader here knew me. He allowed me to come here so that I could help him. And the video you saw, I was not in it because I was making that video. Now, as proof, Jenny shows him the video in which she was present, but because Jenny has not told anything openly yet, Jai still did not believe her. She still had this question in her mind, that what happened to the rest of the people and where did they go? I don't know how she is alive. Now Jenny also plays an audio to him whose voice seems to be as fast as the screams of humans, and she was coming from the same well. Jenny says that more dangerous things are going to happen. That's why we have to get out of here as soon as possible, because the same thing happened with those scientists. First they started hearing such voices, and then strange things started to appear. Some said that we can see our dead people too. Now Jack was listening to all this, but he was laughing because it was obvious that it was very difficult to believe such things. Anyway, now we see Jack's investigation team. Jack had also sent him all those blood-stained lines and marks. One of them, a man who knew Arabic, he looks at him and says that this mark belongs to a devil who hunts men. First he hurts them and then makes them die. It means that they take their own lives. This is what the devil does to take their souls. And in this picture, there is a kind of sacrificial sacrifice, which is for the same devil, and this is the same sacrifice that was being talked about, which Jack had also seen in the room of that animal, so that the devil can come into this world. There Jack and Jenny were waiting for help. There are a lot of things between them, which clearly show that they have become friends now. But here once, it was not clear that Jenny is a friend or an enemy. Now Jack gets a bottle of alcohol, which he had hidden here. Also, he gets a key from the book here, on which he does not pay much attention, and puts it back. Then he starts listening to the same audio that Jenny had played to him. Now Jenny believed that these voices were of devils, because a slight door has opened from them. But now when Jack listens to it carefully, these voices were of humans, that too painless, who were screaming for help, which meant that they were stuck in some big torment and were in a lot of pain. Now only Jack starts hearing voices from outside. As soon as he goes to check outside, he sees a woman there who turns into Jenny as soon as he sees her. But Jack doesn't say anything to her, and both start eating. Even Jenny had made a cake for him because today was Jack's birthday. Jenny knew all this because she had seen Jack sit. Jack thanks her, but he was not happy about his birthday because last year on his birthday, his wife had killed his children and then he took his own life. This was the reason why Jack was always sad about his birthday. Jack was blaming himself for everything because his wife suspected him that maybe he liked someone else. That's why he killed his children first and then took his own life, so that he can punish Jack by doing this, and he will always live this life with this shame. After hearing all this, Jenny feels very bad for Jack, so she takes care of him. They were both together when Jack sees his wife's ghost outside his room. That's why he puts Jenny aside and goes to sleep in the other room. Now he was trying to sleep when he sees his wife again, who turns into Jenny as soon as she sees her. And when they were together at night, Jack dreams of his wife. She had a gun in her hand, which she takes and goes to the room where she kills kills both her children. Then Jack comes in front of her and tells her that you betrayed me. That's why I did all this. And with this, she kills herself too. As soon as he comes out of this nightmare, he finds out that he was not wearing clothes outside the room. He has no idea how he got here. He starts looking for Jenny everywhere, wearing clothes. He goes to the washroom where a terrifying person whose body was rotting was trying to attack him. Jack was very scared, so he tries to run away. But then that terrifying person suddenly turns into Jenny. Then Jenny comes and takes care of Jack. Jack was very scared. He was lost in reality. He was thinking about that night again and again when his wife killed herself and her children. In these thoughts, Jack was seeing Jenny again and again, as if she was everywhere. Then the next morning, Jack starts looking for everything. He also watches the video in which Jenny was there because he had a suspicion in his mind. And his suspicion changes when he watches his own cap in that video, which means it was clear that this video is not of the time when the scientist came here, but Jenny made it later so that she could lie to Jack. After finding out all this, Jack immediately contacts his team and asks them to send him to the team as soon as possible. Jack was very scared because now he was convinced that the devil has come out of that well, and one of them is Jenny. Now as soon as Jack locks himself in the room, he hears a voice from the outside as if someone is calling him. Now when he comes out with a gun, he goes to the tractor where he sees a very big pit in which there were thousands of insects. Now as he looks closely, all those insects suddenly turn into birds. They start flying, so Jack gets scared, and now he also falls into that pit in which he sees a human skull. It had happened before, but now he is very scared. As soon as he comes out of the pit, he goes to the lab and comes to his room and starts taking a bath with clothes because he was covered with mucus. He was also taking a bath when suddenly Jenny comes from behind, and seeing her, he was very scared, so he attacks her with a rod. But when Jenny starts crying, he stops and apologizes because he had injured Jenny a lot. He immediately goes to get medicine so that Jenny can be treated. But when he comes back, he is very surprised to see that Jenny is not here. Now when he was looking for her everywhere, then Jenny comes from behind and attacks Jack with the same rod. Now saving himself, Jack locks himself in a room. Now as soon as he looks out of the door, he sees Jenny in the form of a devil. She had big red eyes, a very scary face, and teeth like a devil. Now Jack was in the room where he got the key from the book, so he takes the key and opens a locker from which he gets another camera. There was a video on checking it, which was recorded by the leader of those scientists. He was telling that Jenny is not a human, but she is a devil. She is a human. She has come in the form of a beautiful girl because she has trapped men in her trap, but she provokes him to take her life, after which she takes his soul herself. Apart from this, he tells that she is a very big and dangerous devil who can take not only one but many other forms. In fact, he can use humans and can also show strange things. Now Jack's team was trying to contact her. She hears Jenny and immediately starts going near the car, although Jack was also shooting at her, but she was saving herself. She talks to the team and tells them that Jack has gone mad and he wants to take my life. Now after a while, when Jack goes to the washroom, he sees his own terrible face in the mirror. He was in the number of 20,000, but he was also different from her, who was taunting Jack. And then as soon as he starts shooting himself in the form of all Jack. Even when it's the turn of the real Jack, he also shoots himself in the mirror. To shoot, looking at him, he starts hearing his own family voices. Following those voices, when he comes to the kitchen, he finds Jenny there. He was quite surprised to see that Jenny's behavior is quite different now. She is cooking food for Jack. Now Jenny tells him that, yes, I am really a devil, and I have been with you for so long because I was testing you about your past. I was seeing how long you tolerate all this and how long you don't get tired of all this. Jack really tolerated most of the time and didn't die yet. Now Jack was already very nervous, and he also knew that Jenny is a devil, so he takes the food sticks and tries to make a cross in front of him so that Jenny runs away from him. But this does not affect him at all. On the contrary, she starts laughing. He picks up the gun, nervous, and as soon as he starts shooting, the gun turns into a lighter, which Jenny burns with a cigarette to annoy Jack. Now Jenny comes in and says that if you give me your soul, then I can introduce you to your family. She was actually making a deal with him, but the truth was that it was all a drama. She wanted to take the keys from Jack's pocket by getting entangled in the talks, in which she also succeeds. Quietly, she takes the keys. Now while talking, Jack gets lost in his thoughts. He remembers the same day when it was his birthday. Here his family was with him. Jack goes to his house, but after a while he realizes that he can't leave here alone, so he decides to come back. Jack was so lost in his thoughts that everything seemed true to him, but very soon, when the veil of lies is removed, he does not see anyone near him. Meanwhile, he sees Jenny outside, who also tells him to come out. When he comes out, he sees that there is his wife instead of Jenny, who tells him that you are also guilty, so I have come to save you. Jack sits in the car, but he knew that this was Jenny's plan, so he gets a peach kiss and injures her and spills petrol all over the place and sets it on fire. Now in the meantime, the rescue team also arrives, who saves both both of them. Now after hearing all the stories, everyone says that Jenny is telling the truth. She really was a part of that mission, but her name was not in the list. The reality was that she came out